It's T-Man, and we're back again with another Blaha video. We're going to react to the gym lifting recruiting fitness gear slaves video. And Blaha says the supplement industry cannot legally produce products that work. Yeah, you mean they can't produce, what do you mean, cosmetics? Like fake cosmetics that will fakely work, fakely? Yeah, they can't give you drugs, if that's what you're talking about. They can sell you supplements, but they can't sell you drugs.
The supplement industry isn't allowed to make products that work. Hey everybody, it's Jason.
I don't understand. How does the supplements do work? They do work. They aid, they supplement, get it? They supplement. That's why they're called supplements. They aid in the repair and the remodeling if you got any damage. But if you didn't get anything, then what good is the supplement? Get it? But do you really need supplements? Not really, because we're not poor. We're not in a third world country. We have plenty of food. We have meat and fish and whatever. We have a lot of good food to eat.
Here, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. If you guys would please remember to click like though on my video, I'd greatly appreciate it. Please remember to follow me or subscribe if you aren't already, and please comment and leave your opinion or just a hello down below in the comments. Right, over to this topic. Again, I've dealt with this a long time. For people who remember, over a decade ago, I literally got sued for calling out research on scam supplement.
Come on, man. Blaha is such an idiot. I call out a scam, a supplement industry. Blaha injects drugs, okay, in his body. He's met it in his videos, okay? He injects this stuff. What the hell is he talking about?
It's one of the biggest ones of all time, branch chain.
Supplements, branch chain amino acids work if you have damage in your body. If you do not have any damage, then of course, why would it work? How could you build a myofibrillar imaginary out of thin air? I think Blaha thinks, well, we got drugs that work. They build myofibrillars out of thin air. You just have to wave your arms around, adapted, and even if you're adapted, it'll still grow. He's crazy. No, it's not. It doesn't just grow a myofibrillar out of thin air. Get it, man? It just doesn't work that way. If it did, everybody would be doing it. If it did, everybody would be doing it. Because who the hell wants to go through all that hard work building myofibrillars? It's taxing. It's a lot of work to do eccentric exercise. It's a lot of work to do that, to build those myofibrillars. You have to damage your body. Then you have to go to the gym. You got to lift. You got to damage eccentrically. Then you have to go through a repair and a remodeling. You have to eat a lot. That takes a lot of real work, bro. Yeah.
Amino acids, and then was later vindicated by meta-analysis and said, hey, this stuff doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. It's complete and utter garbage. But companies were making millions of dollars on it. I had a lawsuit drop at claims of $500,000 in damages. Gag order and everything to shut me up.
Blaha's such an idiot, man. They were laughing at you. You're a fool. You want to attack them because the supplement doesn't build muscles for me. These supplements, they don't build me myofibrillars. They don't build me any muscles. No, really? No kidding, bro.
The reality is I was right.
No, you were wrong. Amino acids work. If BCAAs are amino acids, they all work. They work. Now, it's better to have the whole sequence, right, together, but they work. They work if you have damage in your body. But if there ain't no damage, there's nothing to repair and remodel.
So I have a long history of fighting against this nonsense.
Yeah, Blaha has a long history of foolishness. Foolish.
A very, very long history of fighting against it. And I'm not saying there aren't a tiny number of supplements that don't have some benefits, protein powders, maybe extra strength.
No, protein powders, they don't have any benefits, but amino acids do. BCAA, I personally did a video on it. I have one right here, amino acid free with free-form BCAAs, branch chain amino acids build muscle. There you go. So it's the whole sequence is in there with the branch chain, okay? These are free-form peptide bond and BCAA. So they have all the essential amino acids in here. They build muscles, bro. They work, they build. They help a lot. They increase more hormone intake. They help repair and remodel the muscles. So everything you need everything in your arsenal to build muscles. Trust me. Amino acids, they work. Blaha's a liar.
Fish oil in specific situations, creatine. But for the most part, supplements do not work. They do not work.
Creatine, these supplements by themselves, maybe they exude something different. Creatine, they're 3 amino acids. Do they work? Yeah. But it only works for that particular thing, what you're doing, trying to overload your muscle with water. That's crazy.
Most of the health supplements do not work. Anything that helps with muscle fat loss, boosting testosterone, all these things, these are all complete and utter nonsense. And here's what I mean. What people don't understand, go back and look at the Supplement Control Act of 1994 in the United States. It basically gave the supplement industry a free pass, but with some restrictions put in place for basically false advertising, in the sense of it gave them guidelines on how not to get into trouble, of how to word their stuff. Like they have to say, can't say a product does something, they can only imply it, or suggest it, when combined with a proper diet and exercise, or these claims haven't been evaluated by the FDA. Okay, and essentially, what they did, they created a situation to where supplements do not have to do safety testing, right? In other words, there's less.
Who cares? A supplement cannot build a muscle, but it can aid in repairing and remodeling muscles. So I don't know what Blaha's talking about again.
Restrictions on supplements you buy than on the meat and vegetables you buy in the grocery store. They go through higher stringent standards than your supplements do for safety. Sure. For testing, there is no safety testing required for supplements, and there's no testing required to show that they work. And as far as the safety goes, the rules in place are they can't knowingly sell you something that they know is bad for you. In other words, if there's data showing something is problematic, it's illegal for them to sell it to you.
What does Blaha mean? Do they work? They work. They aid. If there's something damaged, they aid in repairing that. On a cellular level, that's their job. They're supplements. Get it?
And what they will also do, if something turns out to be a really dangerous supplement, they will sometimes open an investigation to see if the people knew on the inside and hid it or not. And if they don't find wrongdoings, that, hey, they just innocently sold you poison and didn't know that it was poison,
sure,
then they're generally in the clear. Like if there was no studies on the stuff they made, they didn't know it was dangerous, they had no evidence to suspect it was dangerous, sure, they're totally in the clear. Okay? Yeah. Unlike drugs that have to be safety tested, they have to know how toxic it is, they have to know the risks before it's sold for, say, through the FDA. Now, that being said, by that same token, they also put restrictions in place that they can't really make things that work. In other words, if they replicate any sort of drug-like effect,
I don't know what he's talking about. What effect that they work? Oh, you're trying to compare a supplement to a drug? Well, listen to the words, supplement, drug. Do they sound the same, man? Like, blah, has got to be delusional.
Not be sold over the counter. And I'll give you guys an example. I won't even go into the muscle building or fat burning. That is definitely something. If they help you build muscle or burn fat beyond their food value, that is automatic ban.
They do not help you build muscle. You have to damage muscle. They will aid in repairing and remodeling the muscle. That's all they do. See what I mean? They aid in repairing and remodeling it. That's all they do. Nothing else.
City felony, you go to prison if you sell it without a prescription to the public. Okay? Automatic. But let's talk about other ones. Perfect example. There have been certain types of brand yeast and stuff that have been found to lower lipids. Okay? And the problem is that some people think the ones that they get in.
At this point, Sanity is the leading next-generation content platform.
Okay? And the problem is that some people think the ones that they get in the U.S., the versions do it, but the reality is the type that's been found to have statin-like properties, which means it lowers cholesterol, is illegal to import into the U.S. And it's illegal to sell as food. Why? Because it produces a drug-like effect. Now, the argument there is, by the way, people say, that's terrible, they should allow that. But here's the argument as to why not. Because if they...
A supplement produces a drug-like effect? What kind of drug-like? Like psychedelic? What is he talking about, man? It's crazy. Look at this picture. Blaha. This is Blaha.
Give you Lipitor for a statin-like effect.
Lipitor. They
can control the dose with a clinical... exact amount. The problem is with some of these...
Again, Lipitor is a drug. It's not a supplement, Blaha.
Extracts are not standardized, and so you don't know how much you're getting. So you're getting a drug-like effect, in an unregulated dose that may be inconsistent, and therefore it might improve your health 1 month and then the batch.
Let me tell you something. Amino acids, they aid in building muscles. That's what they do. They themselves are not going to build you a new myofibrillar out of thin air just because you're Mr. Jones over there. Hey, Mr. Jones, we're going to build this. You just take these tablets and they'll magically build, bro. It doesn't work like that.
You get the next time could not work correctly when you really should just be on a statin. So keep that in mind. If that substance produces...
If you go on a statin, you'll die. That's to kill people.
That effect, if same effect as a statin, that means you probably need to be on a statin. You probably need to be on the prescription drug at that point. So this specific plant extract...
Look at that, Blah's live. It just popped up.
...is only mimicking what you need from a medicine, but it doesn't do it consistently. It's not that it doesn't work. It's that when you're getting it in that format, the plant form or the extract form,
sure,
you don't have an exact identical dose. So you have no way to control the amount of the drug that you're getting in your body. Whereas with the prescription one, you know the exact amount you're taking every single day, and it can be compared to your blood work for the improvement. So that is part of the argument. That does make sense. But generally speaking, other things are a major concern because they interfere with sales. You know, fat burning, anything that helps you burn fat, a fat burner over the counter will be straight up banned. This happened with ephedrine or ephedra years ago when it was outperforming the prescription fat loss drugs. The pharmaceutical industry went nuts. They're like, we're not having this. They got it pulled off the shelf. And a study confirmed it within 6 months. Yeah. The federal government and Congress and everyone met, and they actually literally made it illegal to sell it over the counter. It was outperforming the prescription drug. This gets into big pharma's profits. Also with an untested, unregulated product. Okay, same thing with building muscle.
Yeah, there were products that they put drugs in them. Yeah, because they wanted people to fake it, to build fake muscles or whatever they were doing there. That's all. And they got caught doing that, right? Yeah, I remember that. It was a while ago. So it's not considered a supplement anymore. It's a drug then.
It helps you build muscle beyond something minor like creatine, which is so ridiculously small. You will not be...
I don't know what state or province you're in, but if you look, maybe the chicken that you're eating is so pumped up with hormones, maybe that's what's causing you to lift a heavy weight. Get it? In a gym. I don't know. I can't tell you. Sometimes people, they don't even know what's going on. Your cows, your chickens, your pork, they're all pumped up with hormones. And then you think, oh, it's all me doing it. Meanwhile, your food, your supplements, there's hormones in there. There's like, who the fuck knows what's in there? A bunch of crazy shit. There's like clenbuterol in there and everything, and you're just ingesting it, and you're thinking, well, I must be really strong because I lifted a heavy weight. Man, you're really strong. You never got strong because you didn't build yourself big and strong. You're small and weak. Get it?
You can barely measure it over a year, but it is existent.
Okay.
It falls into the category of the same thing as steroids and other anabolic drugs, and PEDs are going to regulate it. It's not going to be allowed to be sold over the counter. This has happened numerous times.
Sure, yeah.
This has happened numerous times.
Yeah,
so this is perfect examples of things that are not going to be allowed to be sold. So things that help you build muscle, things that help you burn fat, things that improve your cholesterol, stuff like that. Stuff that lowers your blood pressure beyond just eating healthy foods.
Okay.
It will be outlawed. It will be banned.
Oh, yeah,
Therefore, the supplement industry, knowing this, has incentives to not make things that work. Because if they put in the money to develop and find something that...
They have incentives to make things that don't work. I don't know what he's trying to say, man. Like, are you talking about it's going to build you a muscle? What are you talking about? Supplements don't build muscles, bro. Get it? It can aid your body in repairing cellular damage, but they can't build any muscle. So shut up.
Really works. They're going to lose money on the development. They're going to make a short-term profit. The government is going to crack down on it. They may not make a profit. If they make something that doesn't...
What are you talking about? There's nothing that can build a myofibrillar. There's nothing. No drug, no supplement can build a myofibrillar. You still have to lift weights. Okay, I'm sorry, man. You have to go through the pain of the repairing and the remodeling and the damaging and all that kind of stuff. You actually have to go through it. You can try and fake it, but then it'll all go away on your fake drugs when you go off faking it, like sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. You'll fake it. You'll grow. You'll expand that sarcoplasm, and then when you go off, you'll go. Where did all the gains go? Where did they go?
Really work or has a minor effect but not really provable,
Okay, whatever.
they can sell that for 20 years. They're going to make a lot more money. They're going to have a lot less legal issues.
Sure,
And
yeah.
since they're allowed to sell garbage that doesn't work, they can get away with the minor levels of false advertising.
Yeah.
They have a financial incentive to do so. So therefore, the companies with bad ethics
Okay.
are literally propped up by the law. So in other words, the laws are written in such a way that a truly ethical supplement company that wants to make products that work can't compete. They will go out of business. Therefore, the nature of the not free market with it has created a situation to where only unethical scam companies rise to the top and beat out the competitors. This is, again, a law in place that artificially changes the nature of the market there. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're buying these products. Number one, they probably, almost certainly do not work. If they do, they will be outlawed. You won't be able to use it forever. Number two. Number three, they're not safety tested. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
I guess it was. I don't even know what happened there, bro. That shit just threw me off completely. I'll see you in the next one. Touch, think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Whatever, man.